How's it going, YouTube? Got a nice one for you today. This is an iPad mini 1. I'm doing a, as you can see, digitizer replacement. I figured I'd walk you guys through some of the steps. It's not a hard job, but yet it's not an easy job, or everybody'd fucking do it. But anyhow, I use this little machine over here for, heating up the screen, and separating it. The best thing to do is start at the top, work your way underneath it, get all this top loose, and then get the two sides heated up really good, and kind of pry from the top and peel it back. As soon as it gets down to like here, it doesn't matter. It can snap, crackle, pop. Who gives a shit? It's beyond hurting anything. Okay, then you have these two pieces of tape right here, and these are on top of them. So you have to peel these off of the tape, and then just separate the tape real easy. Is what I do for these is I take a pair of tweezers and stick it in the end, and kind of just come in at it at the side, clamp down on it, lift it up. But you kind of want to make sure that you get all of this freed up, because if not, you'll have a hard time getting your screen out. And these do crack fairly easily, and that's the most expensive part of doing this. If you break the LCD, you're kind of screwed. Okay, now you'll see a lot of people talk about the magnets, and is what I do. Here's the magnets right here. As soon as I get them separated. But the one with the tape is for down in the bottom corner. Okay, now your magnets will go on this side with the foam and this side with the foam, the right hand side of the screen. And is what I do after I get it all back together, I just lay the magnet in there and then just let it sit on top of the foam thing. I'll put like a wee little piece of double-sided tape on top of the foam after I screw it in. Then whenever I don't have to worry about the orientation of this whenever I put it on, because if you stick it on the screen, the digitizer, and then flip it over whenever you're installing it, the new one, and you have that magnet off and it's caught on, like, say, this corner, it's not going to sit right, and then you got to pull it apart, and you'll probably end up cracking your digitizer. Now, I will say on your new digitizers, the best thing to do is put a piece of Captain tape. You see the yellow right here across here I have. These are known for ghost touching, and I've noticed with the Captain tape, if you don't have it on, like you can see, like from the factory, you don't see anything here. But on these aftermarket digitizers, you see like the barred things underneath of the yellow that I already have there, the Captain tape. To me, that's whenever you're touching it, and without that Captain tape, it's grounding out and causing taps wherever. But I'll be back in a couple of minutes to give you an update. A little bit of an update here. Okay. So, as you can see, I got fingerprints on that, which is not going to be fun to get off. Try not to do that. But anyhow, in this part, I took the 4 screws out of the corners. Okay. Now, it is this LCD is really down. They have so much adhesive done along the sides. The best thing to do, as you can see here, is this dental floss. Is what I did was lifted the top two corners, you know, and make sure to apply a little bit of heat to the back to get that adhesive loosened up a little bit. But be careful, get the, you know, dental floss underneath the back, work it down till about right here. You know, that first notch there from the bottom, okay? Because the ribbon cable is right under here in the right hand corner. Okay, whenever you get to this point, you can see on the bottom side of it is this metal bracket. Okay, so what we have to do now is take all the screws out of this metal bracket. The only two different sized are right there by the volume button. Put them off to the side. And then other 14, I do believe there's a lot of them. The second generation, not so many, but this first gen, it has a good bit. And what I'm doing now is powering it off, and then I will give you another update whenever I get past this. Okay guys, I'm going to do this part with you. Alright, so now we've got the backing plate off with all 16 screws. Like I said, I put the two right here. Keep organized. Now is what we're going to do is take these three off. Okay, so I'm going to put it like this, right, left to right, the way I'm taking it off. Okay, that one came up with the thing, the little bracket, but we'll put that right in there so you know where it's at. Okay, now I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube. Okay, you see a lot of them just popping these two off, but as I'm telling you right now is this is your battery one. Get that off first. Even if you've turned it off, you know you've turned it off. Just as simple as that. And then I like to take a little piece of Captain tape. I don't have any cut. And then put over the connector. I'll do that. I'll show you that in a bit. Then this is your back panel, your LCD. Get right under. I like going underneath the corner away from any of the little diodes. Just get your little plastic spudger under there. And it pops right up. Okay, now this is your digitizer one right here. And again, you see all these little components here? Them are resistors, diodes, capacitors. If you do not take the battery off first, you can pop one of them. Now, I can replace them, but chances are you probably not be able to. Them are, you know, a little bit harder to repair. So what I'm going to do is get my spudger underneath the corner where there's no diodes and just pop it up. Now, we'll remove the LCD and put it off to the side. And then what I like to do is grab a hold of your digitizer ribbon. I know, it's hard to shoot. And then just kind of rip it up. as you can tell, I ripped it. Big whoop-de-doo. We got a new one we're putting on. Not worried about it. That thing's really on there. There we go. It's coming up now. Okay. Now that is completely off. Now, got a little piece of tape sticking to get the digitizer out of there. I'll take my wee little scissors, snip. That's done. Okay, now that's garbage. Now is what I'll be working on, is cleaning all this up. You know, all the corners, all this tape. I use Goof Off or Goo Gone. Well, first I get the bigger pieces off. I use just a flat razor knife here, and then I'll clean it off really good with this. Then I'll get the Goof Off, Goo Gone, whatever. Use that and get the rest off. Alrighty, I'll catch up to you in a minute.